The ransomware executes at 0.31 hours. This is combat power, where cyber attack creates physical infrastructure collapse, and 72 hours without electricity proves modern society cannot survive grid dependence. The malware penetrates SCADA control systems, supervisory control and data acquisition. The networks manage regional power distribution. 2.3 million people depend on this grid. The attack is sophisticated. Nation-state level capability. Zero-day exploit against control software. No patches exist. No defenses prepared. The ransomware encrypts critical files. Control panels lock. Manual override passwords are changed. Operators lose access to their own systems. At 0.3 hours, the first substation goes offline. Safety protocols activate. Circuit breakers trip. But the ransomware has corrupted safety logic. Breakers will not reset. Power flow stops. The Grid Management Center detects cascading failure. 3 substations offline. Load balancing fails. Remaining substations overload. Automatic protection systems should redistribute power. But SCADA control is compromised. The systems respond incorrectly. At 0.3 hours, the cascade accelerates. 8 substations offline. Power demand exceeds supply. Voltage drops across the network. Brownout conditions. Equipment damage begins. Industrial motors burn out. Hospital generators activate. Traffic signals fail. At 0.3 hours, grid operators attempt emergency procedures. Manual control of backup systems. But ransomware has penetrated deep. Backup SCADA shows false data. Operators see normal readings while actual systems are failing. This is the sophistication, not just encryption, active deception. At 0.3 hours, total grid collapse. 47 substations offline. 2.3 million people lose power. The blackout is complete. Hospitals switch to emergency generators. Diesel fuel reserves, 72 hours. Water treatment plants lose power. Backup systems activate. Battery duration, 6 hours. Then manual pumping required. Traffic management systems are dark. No signals, no cameras, no coordination. Major intersections become chaos. Cell towers operate on battery backup. Duration, 4 to 8 hours. Then communications fail. Which force breaks first? A. Air defense. B. Naval group. C. Command network. The infrastructure network breaks, all of it, simultaneously. This is cascading failure. At 0.3 hours, emergency response begins. State declares disaster. National Guard activates. But coordination is difficult. Communication systems are degraded. The incident command center runs on generator power. They assess the situation. Ransomware attack. SCADA systems encrypted. Control restored only after ransom payment or complete system rebuild. The ransom demand appears at 0.3 hours. Cryptocurrency payment. Amount, $47 million. Deadline, 72 hours. Message is clear. Pay, or the grid stays dark. The governor faces the decision. Pay ransom to criminals. Fund future attacks. Reward adversaries, or refuse. Accept prolonged blackout. Suffer consequences. At 0.4 hours, federal cybersecurity teams arrive. They analyze the ransomware. Encryption is military grade. AES 256. Unbreakable without key. Decryption would take years. The only options are pay ransom or rebuild systems from scratch. System rebuild estimate, 6 to 8 weeks. At 0.4 hours, the first secondary effects emerge. Hospitals report generator fuel at 68 hours remaining. Resupply convoys are organized. But fuel distribution requires electricity. Pumps are offline. Manual methods are slow. Water treatment plants report battery backup failing. 6 hours until manual operations required. Manual pumping serves only critical facilities. Residential water will stop. At 0.4 hours, grocery stores face crisis. Refrigeration fails. Perishable food spoils. Frozen goods thaw. Stores cannot process transactions. Credit card systems need internet. Cash registers need power. Commerce stops. At 05:18 hours, hospitals begin rationing generator fuel. Non-critical systems shut down. Air conditioning stops. Operating rooms prioritized. Life support systems protected. But patient comfort declines. At 07:47 hours, water pressure begins dropping. Treatment plants on manual pumping. Reduced capacity. High-rise buildings lose pressure first. Upper floors have no water. Residents descend to street level. At 06:12 hours, civil disorder begins. Gas stations cannot pump fuel. Lines form. Arguments start. Police respond. But police communications are degraded. Cell towers are failing. Coordination breaks down. What happens next changes everything. At 06:34 hours, the governor decides. Do not pay ransom. Begin system rebuild. Accept extended blackout. The message is sent to federal teams. Start reconstruction. The decision means suffering, but paying means vulnerability. Ransom payment proves infrastructure can be held hostage, invites future attacks. At 07:01 hours, cyber teams begin assessment. 47 substations need complete SCADA replacement. Control software must be reinstalled from clean backups. Every system must be verified uncompromised. Estimated timeline, 28 days minimum. At 0723 hours, public announcement broadcasts on battery-powered radio. Power outage will last weeks, not hours. Residents should prepare for extended duration. Conserve resources. Follow emergency protocols. The announcement creates panic. At 0747 hours, emergency supply distribution begins. Bottled water, non-perishable food, medical supplies. But distribution points require power for logistics. Manual tracking, paper records, slow process. At 08:02 hours, hospitals report critical status. Generator fuel at 59 hours. Resupply convoy cannot deliver fast enough. Manual fuel pumping is too slow. Helicopter delivery is considered. At 0834 hours, water service stops. Treatment plants cannot maintain pressure. Manual pumping serves hospitals and emergency services only. Residential water is cut. Fire hydrants are dry. Fire response capability is degraded. At 00:56 hours, cell towers go dark. Battery backup exhausted. Mobile communications fail. Internet is offline. The population is isolated. Information flow stops. This is combat power, where infrastructure interdependence means one system failure triggers complete societal breakdown, and cyber warfare achieves strategic effects without firing a shot. At 09:18 hours, the scope becomes clear. No power, no water, no communications, no fuel distribution, no food refrigeration, no emergency coordination. Modern urban life is impossible. 2.3 million people face survival conditions. At 09:47 hours, evacuation is considered. Move population to neighboring regions. But transportation requires fuel. Fuel distribution requires power. The circular dependency is complete. At 10:12 hours, military assets deploy. Mobile power generation, water purification units, communications equipment, field hospitals. But capacity is insufficient. Equipment supports thousands. The affected population is millions. At 10:47 hours, social order degrades. Looting begins. Stores are ransacked. Police cannot respond everywhere. National Guard establishes security perimeter around critical facilities, hospitals, distribution centers, government buildings. The rest is abandoned. At 11:23 hours, cyber forensics identifies attack origin. Nation-state actor. Linked to hostile government. This is not criminal ransomware. This is warfare, hybrid conflict. The attack achieves military objective without kinetic weapons, necessary defense or catastrophic overreach. The infrastructure was vulnerable. Security was inadequate. Defense was impossible. At 11:56 hours, federal government responds. This is act of war. Proportional response authorized. Cyber counterattack prepared. But targets must be identified. Attribution must be certain. Escalation must be controlled. At 12:34 hours, first portable generators arrive. Limited number. Distributed to hospitals. Generator power sustains critical care. But fuel consumption is high. 72-hour supply may become 48. At 13:12 hours, water distribution begins. Bottled water, tanker trucks, manual dispensing. But volume is insufficient. 2.3 million people need water. Supply capacity is a fraction of demand. At 13:47 hours, heat becomes factor. Summer conditions, no air conditioning. Vulnerable populations suffer. Elderly, infants, medical conditions. Heat exhaustion cases increase. Hospitals are overwhelmed. At 14:23 hours, communication is restored, partially. Military satellite systems, emergency broadcast network, but civilian access is limited. Information flows one direction, government to population, no feedback. At 14:56 hours, the 72-hour countdown continues. 59 hours remaining until ransom deadline. But decision is made. No payment. Rebuild instead. The suffering will continue for weeks. How long can modern city survive without electrical power? A. 12 hours. B. 72 hours. C. 2 weeks. The answer is B. Most critical infrastructure has backup power for 24 to 72 hours. After that, hospitals lose capability, water treatment fails, communications collapse, and basic services become impossible without external support. Modern urban populations cannot sustain without grid power beyond 3 days. At 15:34 hours, cyber teams report progress. 3 substations have clean SCADA installed. Power restoration possible in limited zones. Hospitals will receive power first, then water treatment, then emergency services. Residential areas last. At 16:12 hours, first substation comes online. Limited power. Hospital district receives electricity. Generator fuel is conserved. Critical care continues. Small victory in large disaster. At 16:47 hours, international support arrives. Mobile power units, water purification, communications equipment, medical supplies. Allied nations provide assistance. But scale is overwhelming. At 17:23 hours, civil unrest intensifies. Population is desperate. Water is scarce. Food is spoiling. Communications are limited. Rumors spread. Misinformation dominates. Security forces struggle to maintain order. At 18:01 hours, the governor addresses population via emergency broadcast. Power restoration is underway. Hospitals are protected. Water will flow soon. Be patient. Remain calm. Help is coming. The message provides hope, but reality is grim. At 18:34 hours, second substation restores. Water treatment plant receives power. Pumping begins. Pressure builds. Limited neighborhoods receive water. The progress is incremental. At 19:12 hours, attack analysis completes. The ransomware exploited weak credentials on internet-connected control panels. SCADA systems should never be internet-facing. Basic security protocol. But cost-cutting and convenience created vulnerability. The lesson is expensive. If combat power decides wars, type combat power. The strategic reality is clear. Critical infrastructure is battlefield. Cyber attack achieves paralysis. Nation-state adversaries can create catastrophe without bombs. Defense requires securing every system, every network, every connection. The cost is enormous, but alternative is collapse. At 20:34 hours, progress continues. 8 substations online. Limited power distribution. Emergency services functional. But residential areas remain dark. The timeline holds. Weeks, not days. At 2156 hours, the question emerges. What would you order next? Continue slow restoration. Maintain security. Support population. Or accelerate risk. Restore power faster. Accept potential for compromised systems still active. The choice determines whether recovery is safe or swift. Neither option is good. Both have consequences. This is aftermath of infrastructure warfare, the fight to restore what cyber attack destroyed in minutes.